With all the information you've gathered at this point, you are now ready for your first rep meeting. So by the end of this session, you will be able to you'll have an agenda that's built for you, and you can build your own for the first rep meeting to make sure you're prepared. Organize the rep story and confirm if it's accurate. Remember, we've gathered a lot of data at this point. We think we know the story. We don't want to just assume that that is the story. We want to get context from the rep directly about, hey, this is what I see. You want to be very transparent and honest. You want to go right to the soul of that rep and say, this is what I'm seeing in all the data points, all the objective information that I can pull about you. This is what I'm seeing. This is the story it's telling me. Is this who you think you are? And get their feedback directly on it. And then by the end, the one thing we can't necessarily gather through the data is we need to ask the rep and talk to the rep about the rep's goal, what their goal in their career currently as a sales rep is. So you are now ready for this meeting. You have to come prepared with the data, and that means you have to spend time gathering it, pulling it together, making sure that you've got all that rep's information in front of you and at your fingertips. You don't want to be combing around looking for something when something comes up. If the rep says, well, that's not true, you can say, well, help me understand. Here the data shows that it is true. So you need to have your facts together and ready to go for all the things you're going to talk about. Make sure you've got all the backup data in front of you. That way you don't get in a circular conversation where you have to get back to them on something. The data's there and they can refute it, but they've got to be able to refute it accurately. It's not we're putting them on trial here. It shouldn't feel like that. It's help me understand why this data tells a different story than what you are. I'm just trying to gather information. This needs to be I'm listening, not I'm telling you this is who you are. So make sure you come in that frame mind. You need to make sure your agenda is ready to go. At the end of this, I have a sample agenda that you can use. I encourage you to customize it and make it your own. And then leave room for the new information to be explored. So if something comes up that you don't have represented in the data, talk to the rep, give them an opportunity to talk to you about what their viewpoints on things and how they're seeing it. It will really build a good start point if you're new to the team as the manager on building that trust. You're asking questions and then listening to the answers that are coming back and really seeing them and hearing them for who they are. So that's key, and you need to give air in the room for this information to be explored. So meeting with the rep. Present your honest assessment constructively. Don't sugarcoat it. Hey, this is what I see. Help me understand where it's right or where it's wrong. We're not trying to pass judgment. We're not trying to say, hey, you're guilty of being a good rep or guilty of being a bad rep. We're trying to say, this is the information that I'm seeing. Help me understand what I'm missing. I'm trying to fill in gaps. Use it that way. Get feedback. Again, you want to ask more questions than you do in terms of offering information. Questions that they can answer and give you more context. They may confirm a lot of what you're already seeing, but give them the room to do such a thing. And then you got to listen for the context. There may be really good feedback. Your rep may be, I've had reps that I underestimated going into this first meeting where I thought, based on the data, based on their personality, I think this is what I'm seeing, but I need to confirm it. And then when I would give them the room to talk and air out what's on their minds, I would find out that I had a rep who I was very much underestimating. They had a really good strategy that I could not see on paper. And it made sense. It needed some tweaking probably, but it was at least thought about. It wasn't like it was just willy-nilly trying to go out and I'm just opportunistic everywhere. They had a strategy, and I just had to listen to it to understand what was going on. And that's what you're doing in this meeting, is understanding that context. And then listen and understand the goal, and we'll talk about the goal here in a minute. So these are sample conversations. I'm going to read these to you. I apologize, I don't like to read these, but I want you to hear the difference in these two sample conversations, because we've all been a part of this first one. So Great to meet you. I'm excited to be a part of this team. I look forward to getting to know and seeing great things from you. I will support you to get your numbers where you want them to be. Please let me know where I can help you and how we can achieve more together as a team. I want you to imagine for a second that that's the first meeting with the rep. Many of you have probably been a part of these conversations with people you report to. It kind of feels good, I guess, that, hey, I'm here to support you. I'm going to say it's saying all the right things, but it's really not doing anything. There's no new information here. There's nothing other than feel good. Hey, I'm here to support you. I look forward to working with you, blah, 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 blah. Anytime a direct report, anytime the person I report to had this kind of conversation with me, I would not walk away feeling great about that conversation. And there's a number of VPs I've reported to that this is how they approached. And it doesn't help anything. What we're looking for is, I need you to see me. You only have so many direct reports. Unless you have 100 direct reports or some unmanageable number of direct reports, you should have an understanding of who is underneath you. It doesn't take that much effort to go gather the data we've gathered, to look through the information we've looked through, and to come up with information that says, I know who you are on paper. Now I want to know who you are directly. This is what's going to build the relationship long-term in the team to help you guys work together. So now imagine this conversation. I was excited to get to sit down with you. I see from the data that you own the manufacturing industry in our area. You outpace all of the reps on the team in that section by 8-1. I want you to know that with the goals that I'm going to announce to the team at the next sales meeting, it will be critical for you to continue to dominate this industry for us, to be our expert. When I look at the data, the one thing that stands out to me is I need to know what I can do to help you to get more deals from negotiation to close. That will be my focus in our initial one-on-ones. Please tell me if I have missed anything else in the data that would help you and I be more successful. And probably the word I need to add right there is together, because this is a partnership. This is not about you being a sales manager that's a pyramid scheme of go make me my money. It all rolls up. So go make me my money because the VP's yelling at me to make him or her their money. You're not about that. You shouldn't be about that. This is about how do we work together to be successful together as a team. And if you're working through that together, you're in it together. How can I help together? That's what you're looking to accomplish here, and especially in this early conversation to set the tone for how things are going to proceed. So in conclusion, this will be a thread throughout many, many sections to come. Be prepared. Take the time to prepare for this meeting. Get the agenda ready, get the data ready, have it at your fingertips, and then turn off your phone, turn off your computer. Give the attention to the rep. Let them know you are listening, you hear them. Be organized. Having it all together where you can just grab it is very important. And then listen. Sit back and hear what they're saying to you and try to repeat some of it back to make sure you're hearing it correctly. Use your words if they're using different vocabulary. I find vocabulary is probably one of the biggest misses in our communications as people. Somebody says something and we think it means this when it really means something else. Take the time to repeat it back in your words to make sure that you confirm you're hearing them accurately. So with the rep, complete the story of who they are. Action items. Build the agenda for the rep meeting. Include all relevant data, strategies, skills. Assess their ambition level and document the goal. So we didn't spend enough time here talking about the goal. So let me say a moment, and we'll get into this in the coaching the individual more about the rep goal. So you need to ask them in this meeting, what is your goal as a sales rep? And again, we're going to cover this more in another section, but I want you to be thinking about this as you go through it with them about what is their goal, because we're going to document that goal and use it in their one-on-ones to make sure we're coaching them to what they want to achieve. They're going to define their own success. You have your markers for success for you, for the team, maybe for individuals that you want to see them accomplish. But if they don't want to accomplish it, I promise you they won't. So you need to find out what's motivating them. So what is their goal? So for the agenda, I've got a sample here. Feel free to customize it for yourself. I do ask that you introduce yourself with something new, something that the rep hasn't heard about you yet. Be vulnerable here. Allow them to get to know you a little bit. This helps for them wanting to let you into their world of who they are. Go through and assess everything that or share your assessments of the data and get their feedback. Ask questions. We'll talk more about the goal in an upcoming segment, but you can go ahead and start asking about it now. We'll talk about how to fine-tune that goal. And don't be surprised if it's an immature goal. We'll talk about that more as well. That has to do with goals like I don't want to get fired. We'll talk about what the goal really needs to look like and how they need to think about it. And then share your path for the rep, what you see for them, and see if they buy into it or if they've got a different idea of where they want to go. And you need to tend towards theirs as long as it meets the team objective. So this is a good starting point for your first meeting with the rep. Make sure you are prepared is the one thing I would over caution for this particular meeting.